Well done. This t-shirt's not right, is it? We're back in the room. It's the Choc and Roll Show with Papa Choc.
Look what he's got me doing again. Day making chocolates.
It's the first episode of the year. Are you ready?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Let's go. Choc and Roll. Welcome to the Choc studio with me, Ollie the Choc.
You gotta feel it in your soul. You gotta believe it, you gotta know. You gotta wake up and dream and go get it. A visionary knows no limit. Do it big so your name be remembered. Play your cards like the hand of a winner. Eat your breakfast but make room for dinner. Got a hunger for success and my dreams getting bigger.
You gonna dream big, you better dream large. Blocking lanes on the boulevard. Calling shots cause you're in charge. You gonna dream big, you better dream large. You wanna live life like a renegade. Come to the top of your piece of fame. Calling shots cause you're in charge. You gonna dream big, you better dream large. 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 You gonna dream big, you better dream large.
We're back in the Choc studio. Give it up for Papa Choc, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! How you doing, Dad? You good?
Very good. I'm fantastic, thanks. Yeah, very busy Christmas and busy start of the year, to be honest. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, how are you?
2022.
It's great, isn't it?
Good. It's good to be
Another
back.
one.
Yeah. Hello.
More plans.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a big year this year. We've got lots going on, which we're going to tell you all about. But for now, I think I'm going to hand it over to the OG, the original chocolatier, the original Willy Wonka, the Chocfather, Papa Choc, Simon Dunn, chocolatier. Let me hear from him. Give me some emoji love.
I can't see anything. Can you see the emojis flying?
I will be able to. I'm going to get the comments up on my phone. So drop us a comment. Let us know you're watching. If you are a follower of Simon Dunn, chocolatier, maybe you've been buying his chocolates since he first set up the business 40 years ago this year. I've been working with chocolate for 20 years as of last year. Chocolate is in the blood, it's in my DNA, and it's all thanks to this man. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that journey. We did that on episode 1. We're going to touch on that for anyone who missed it, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper. We've got James on the camera. Thank you, James. I can see lots of people commenting. We're live on Simon Dunn Chocolatier's Facebook. They don't know that. We're live on your Facebook.
Right.
We're live on mine, on Ollie the Choc. We're live on LinkedIn, Twitter,
He just
YouTube.
does his own thing. I haven't got a clue what he's doing. Live on your Facebook.
We went for a beer last night, and I said I'll wait until he finished his first pint. And then I said, fancy coming on the Choc and Roll Show tomorrow night? And he went, well, I can't think of an excuse quick enough. So here we are.
Oh, dear.
I'll see a few people that are watching now.
Oh, somebody watching?
People
that's
are.
a relief.
Must
Yeah,
be
not
crazy.
just study on our own.
It's good to know people are watching. Thanks for the comments, guys. Nikki, Matt, Heather, Gillian, Serena, Leah, Margaret, Jane, Tracy. Loving that. Patricia, everyone say hello, Ollie and Papa Choc. The Minion. Yeah, the Minion vibes, Matthew Platts. There's a story behind this. Yeah. What do you reckon to this? Pretty snazzy, isn't it? I've got a matching bandana and everything.
You wonder how extreme you can dress, don't you?
So this is how you used to dress me. Was it you or Mum?
I think she actually had some yellow dungarees. Maybe it was a bit of a mother-son kind of setup.
Did you not have matching ones then?
No.
We had a bit of a wardrobe mishap once, didn't we? Were you getting me ready at this point? We'll talk about that later. It's quite embarrassing.
You're gonna bring that
Yeah, I do.
Why not tell them now? Because they might.
We might have to stay though if we tell them that later. It's a little bit of clickbait to keep you in there. Welcome to the Choc and Roll Show. If you just joined us, we're going to tell you some little stories. And the reason why I'm wearing these dungarees is because we're going to recreate the photo that I think James might be able to pull up for you.
And this colour shirt, I mean, I do actually like to work in overalls, but I thought, well, I'm only doing it for show, so it's not for sale.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll stick the appropriate colour shirt on.
So we're matching.
Right,
is that on this?
The
The one where, my dad's holding me.
I'm not going to hold you there.
That is the one, right? So my dad's got the same shirt on, not the same shirt, but the same colour shirt.
I've got the moustache.
No,
I've got
I'll give you a chocolate moustache.
I've got slightly different colour hair, so that's acceptable at 60. I'm not really too bothered. It's I'll settle for greyish hair.
At least you got hair.
The none.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I gone for the dungarees. I don't know what I had underneath the dungarees on that shot, but didn't have a Thundercats tee, so I'm not sure whether that's white t-shirt.
You let yourself down, mate.
Yeah, I've grown up too much.
Well, last night you said this, and then he kind of just threw it out that he's going to be showing techniques never shown before. And I thought, oh, what's that? So we should show everybody everything. But
all the secrets.
Based on that photograph, I thought the best thing I could do is make those chocolates.
Yes.
Those original kind of. When I first started, do you know this? I only did 5 chocolates. That was it. That was my whole business range.
High five.
Remember?
No. Yeah, remember you telling me
What they were?
coffee and walnut.
Yeah.
Viennese must have been one. No. Brandy.
No.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
White chocolate whiskey.
Yeah. Dark centre.
Yeah.
Can't look at me now. There was a butter one, a white chocolate with a dark drop on top.
Okay.
A milk rum truffle, and then what was the other one? Vanilla, I think.
Right.
If your mum's watching, she'll remember. But I should. Yeah, I think it was vanilla.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we're going to recreate
Just
one
5.
of those original 5 that was your very first range.
Well, I've got to say this. I mean, what we found, we've tried to do keep up with the modern trends in chocolates and things like that. But the traditional, the old original flavour
are always the best
combinations are always the best sellers.
Yeah.
So I don't kind of waste time experimenting with new ideas, because I think we're talking about this about how you develop new products and things. But there's so many that we've got now. It's kind of difficult to add to the range because there's no space in the cabinet.
Yeah,
we have to take one out, and
It's
it's somebody's
Christmas.
favourite.
Yeah, you can never remove any, can you?
Christmas was amazing. I mean, we kind of literally got ourselves right up to the last hour.
Yeah,
and that was it. People
Everybody was
coming
served.
in, and there was about 8 chocolates in the cabinet.
Wow.
And that was it. And I thought, well, this lad, it was actually Mike Goff.
Yeah.
I thought he's not going to have anything here, but there was a box of champagne truffles left.
No way.
So
everybody was happy.
yeah, hey, it was a great success. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done. I saw you every single day going
It's
forward.
all the back of my head.
Yeah, I know.
And not much else. I mean, it was literally. Another thing you said about the mindset of a chocolatier.
Yeah.
Oh, it's another world, honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
any other chocolatiers watching or listening out there will know what I mean. You know what I mean. And
Well,
anybody that's worked for me knows what I mean.
It's a work
literally completely dedicate yourself to the month of December, or even sooner for us this year, and you don't think about anything else other than production, packing, sales, supply of all your materials, your packaging, and just go for it. And don't commit to any social life or I mean, you're lucky if you can eat basically and sleep.
Right.
So, but it's great. I mean, it wouldn't be the same without it. Absolutely.
You
see
miss
that
the chaos. You definitely
I
missed the
think
chaos.
there was a moment I wasn't making chocolates. You said, "Look at me, he's not happy unless he's making chocolates." It made me laugh. I thought, "Why do I actually not happy?"
Yeah. When did I say that? When you came back in?
I know over Christmas there was a moment, and he said, "Look, I think I came in here just to chat with you or just have a quick word with you," and I must have looked spaced out. He said,
You don't last long. You're in there for like 10 seconds. But you're in the zone. In the zone.
In the zone, yeah.
I do love it. Yeah. Nutty Elaine. Hello, Elaine. Mark Williamson. How's it going, my mate? Heather, thank you so much. Loving it. Guys, I'm going to go and retire too.
Retire? Good. You stop messing around, mate. Yeah, good. Anyway.
I'm just hoping I can sit down in these dungarees without them.
Are you ready for a little bit of a demo? Are we going for it, or are you chatting
Well,
still?
before we get started, we've changed things up a little bit, because after last week's show, which was fantastic, which was the last show of the year, and James and I had loads of fun. Hey, Mandy Harvey. And we just decided, James and I, that we would change things up slightly. We've moved the chocolate machine from here to the other side to unlock this area, which has kind of become a little bit of a bar area now tonight. So we're going to start by pouring a beer.
That's a good start to production, isn't it?
It's didn't you say that there's a thing with chocolatiers and being drunk? It helps creativity.
What did I say that? That's a bad influence, isn't it? If ever there was one.
Yeah,
When did I say that?
I've sworn by it ever since.
You've dreamt that one, I think.
Right. Well, I think it was something about tasting the alcohol that you put in the chocolate. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm going to crack open this beer, which is a Cheshire chocolate porter. Could you tell me? Well, yeah, tell me about this one.
Yeah, in case you haven't already heard the story, it was an idea of mine. Robinson's got the local brewery. Robinson's got the best dark ale in the world award for Old Tom.
Yeah.
So I messaged them and said, I don't know if you know me, but we've got a shop in Wimsall at the time and various shops. Just wanted to congratulate you on the award, and maybe we could get together and develop a chocolate beer. And pretty much within an hour of sending this message, I get a reply from Oliver Robinson, the, I don't know, he's CEO or whatever he is.
Yeah.
Saying, "Oh, hi Simon, lovely to hear from you. We're great fans of your shop. The family are always in the shop at Wimslow. What a fantastic idea! Let's get together and work on it." So within a few weeks, I think we'd met the head brewer at Stockport and got together and had a few samples. We acted very quickly.
I've got some questions to ask you about that, because I do love talking about this story. But the one thing that I love about this, hello to Liam Gardner as well. Thank you about your comment about the new setup. Guys, if anyone has any questions about the chocolate beer as well, drop them in. Any thoughts, any inspiration that you get. But one thing that I loved about this story is that you were in the pub talking to your mates, and you said as a joke that you were working on a chocolate beer with Robinson's. And I remember you telling me this as clear as anything, and it was like you said this as a joke and as a random comment, and the next day you planted a seed and you thought about it a bit more and you decided that you were actually going to take action and email it. And then he came back and was interested because he knew the shop in Wilmslow. So then you went to the brewery and you developed this beer. So what was that process like? 'Cause obviously you've never done a chocolate beer before. It must have been quite an experience working on that.
Yeah, well, it was.
Cheers, by the way. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, this is what we need.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. It is good, this, isn't it? Room temperature, by the way, it's always better.
It's actually slightly more bitter than I always remember it being very sweet, but it's actually bitter, like a proper
really good
beer. It's very good.
I'm obviously not familiar with the brewing process, and apparently chocolate doesn't work well with beer. It flattens it. Fat in chocolate. So Robinson's being the experts, they kind of took control of that and sourced a essence from the bean. So it was a natural essence from the cocoa bean, which worked fantastic. And as I say, it was only the first 2 or 3 samples that we tried, and we hit on this taste. And I remember at the time the head brewer said, "Oh, I don't like chocolate." I thought, "This is going to be good.
This is going to be fun, isn't it?"
It gives me a migraine. And then I thought, well, actually, you're not drinking chocolate, you're drinking chocolate beer. So he did enjoy it, but
and did you add vanilla pods? Do I remember correctly? There's vanilla in this. I'm sure that's where the sweetness comes from.
I forget, to be honest, but
it's got your name on the neck, which is cool. It's got your signature.
Well, part of the other part to this story, it went fantastic in the Robinson's pubs, and it was on draft at one point. Remember?
Yeah.
And then Robinson's approached me and asked if I would give their approval for Marks and Spencer's to stock it in their stores.
Yeah,
can you imagine that? And so then they said, obviously your name will be on the bottle, and so I did the signature and they put it on the neck, and I said, well, I can't really read it. Can you put my name in block capitals above it?
Yeah.
And so they happily did that, and it's stuck in the stores ever since, which is probably about 10 or 15 years now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's been a great success, and I'm quite sad, as you know, on your stag do in Dublin. Any M&S that I see, I have to go in, just have a look at the beer, and then shout to everybody around, "That's mine." No, not that sad.
No,
but it is really good.
Good, really good. So if anyone's having a tipple at home, let us know what your tipple is, whether it's alcohol or not. If anyone's doing dry January, let us know.
It's not like us to have a beer at this time, Oliver, is it?
No, not at all.
Very unusual.
Early doors. Cheers. About to open that second bottle. Cheers, guys. I love the colour of it and the It's chocolatey.
But yeah,
It's
it has kind of helped to raise awareness for my brand, and certainly with the association with M&S.
Yeah,
It's great.
amazing.
Mhm.
So what we're making tonight, Papa Choc?
Traditional, one of the original, like say, the coffee
Yes.
and walnuts.
Coffee and walnut.
Yeah, I mean that's actually one of my favourite combination of flavours.
Yeah,
Are you coffee and walnut cake?
definitely. Yeah, I love coffee and walnut cake. Yeah.
So
So would you say that it's if you like coffee, it's a coffee and walnut cake in a chocolate?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right,
All right.
it's basically, I always kind of, this is another tip or
Yeah.
secret.
Okay.
I always go for a third cream and 2/3 chocolate. We've done that with
Yeah.
most of the things we do.
Yeah.
Gives you the right balance and texture and smoothness, silkiness, if you like.
Yeah.
So I may have to disappear to the microwave in a minute, but if I'm really good or lucky, 10% chocolate's good. I
Yeah.
can do this in one shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix the chocolate.
So are you thinking you might have to go to the microwave to heat the actual centre?
Yeah, because just to get it workable to pipe down.
Yeah. Otherwise, it goes too
Yeah.
thick.
Or
Yeah.
if I work very fast.
So really, we should get that milk chocolate slightly warm.
Yeah, I think that. No, it's not.
It's not, is it? It's
No,
actually
well,
tempered. So would you
know,
go?
room temperature? No, I'll because it's good to show people how you have to. I mean, the beauty of chocolate work, I've always said it, and I've always made people relax when they're learning to make chocolate.
Yeah.
I say it's very forgiving. If you've got too much cream, you can tell by the look of it, it's a bit sloppy and watery.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So you add a bit more chocolate to it, and then it firms up and
Yeah.
thickens up. Or if it looks like it's separating a little bit, then you've got too much chocolate. So you just add a bit of cream to it, and then it gets the nice texture. So it's not like making a cake. You don't know it's wrong until you get it out of the oven.
Yeah.
Chocolate
You
is
can
it's
see
very instant. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a kind of relaxing, chilled out. Have a
Therapeutic,
beer.
have a beer.
Don't worry about it. Blag it.
Yeah.
40,
Wing it.
40 years of blagging.
Winging it. Simon Dunn Chocolateer, winging it for 40 years. I think that's very humble because we all know that you're an expert. But we do.
Well, it's
wing
all
it
to
a
do
bit.
with the eye and all the rest of it. But I'm just going to quickly. So I'll get my 2/3 in there, which is about that. And if it's wrong, we'll know because it will either.
Not making beer, Nikki. Maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe we can make beer on live on the Choc and Roll Show. Jane, Patricia, doing that. Iron Brew, national drink.
So we've got I'm going to mix this in. Put this in a little old school.
Oh, that's
Shot
nice.
glass.
Yes.
So that's the coffee concentrate that we put in there. Right, and we're ready to go.
Okay. Can we talk about branding and stuff like that? Can we, in a minute, can we talk about the logo and the history on that?
Are you serious?
In a very diplomatic kind of.
Yes, you can. Yeah, why not? It's all part of the story.
It's all part of the story, yeah. Mr. Gardner says he loves the idea. If we act on our ideas.
What's the idea of what?
But just like the fact, even if you have, and I'm very much like, I must get that from you. Like, if I have a random idea, it can start out as a joke, but I'll actually try and take it to that step
None of
further.
us know what's going to happen next, do we?
No. So you just whip some air into that.
Yeah, I just kind of, What I'm going to do is just before it starts to thicken up too much, look at that now, that's a gorgeous texture. And then I can actually do this quick enough before it firms up on me, right?
Wow, it's getting nice and thick now. It's
And then-
aerated as well.
What happens now in there? Working it.
Come on, yes,
As I
guys.
used to.
Jason Baird, Stockport Spider-Man. How's it going, buddy?
Hey,
That's
nice
the
one,
legend.
Jason. Right, you ready for this? This is
Yeah,
remember this.
Let's do it. Yeah, I do.
So this was
I'll hold it.
all that, yeah. This was how
See, I still work for him.
how I used to do all the centres. So they'd all be equal sizes.
What's that looking like, James, on the cam, the table cam? He's smiling, so that must be good. Oh, baby, that was good. That was clear as well, doesn't it? You can see my
look
little
at that
post.
now.
Oh.
How many have we got there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, about 30 chocolates. Very quickly whipped together,
Look at that.
centre in it, no microwave, got it the right texture.
Do you usually do them that quick, or is it because you're having a beer? Do you think maybe?
I do usually do them that quick, otherwise there'd
quicker.
be nothing in the shop. But I don't do them like this anymore.
No,
That's the big thing. I mean, I make the spheres. I think you demonstrated that with the sprouts, didn't you? The way we make them in the mould.
Yeah.
So we basically make the shell first, Ollie
Yeah.
showed you on the sprouts.
Yeah.
So you've got a perfect predetermined shape with these.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened with these when I tried training you to make chocolates the first time?
I mean, the fact that you just got that like technique, like that is a real rhythm, isn't it? I don't remember being able to do that. Was that the problem?
It wasn't. That wasn't the only problem.
No.
It was rolling them out. Do you remember?
Yeah, because
You couldn't.
my hand's too small.
I don't know what it was. No, because your mum was great at it as well. So when these set, which would be in about 10 or 15 minutes,
Yeah.
you can get them off the sheet and then break them up.
You go like this, you take about 1,000 of it like that, peel them off, and then it's like
What you must have seen.
it's
as a
catching
child.
them at that time before
Yeah.
they set too much. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Does that putting the air into it help it from prevent it from going too firm?
I don't think so.
No.
No. I think it just makes you helps to work with it, and it feels nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they go a bit further. You get more chocolates.
Okay.
But
That's
selling air is
selling
great,
air,
you know.
yeah, and the less calories.
So I mean, these are. Look at that now.
So the bit that I couldn't do, you're going to show now.
Well, I've already done them in.
because you used to roll them in one hand, didn't you?
Yeah, it was.
Not in
it was
time.
I mean, we did always say, God, if we keep this up, we're going to have arthritis at the age of 40, because it was really, really
Wow.
hard work. So we did thousands, didn't we?
Yeah.
Doing them that way.
Yeah.
So I tried when I first, Oliver first started working with me, to get him to do them the way I did, and he couldn't do it. They were mush in your hands. There were all sorts of. And I said to myself and everybody else, we need to change the business.
Yeah. Which
So-
in the end was a good thing.
It was
wasn't
fantastic. Yeah. So we bought these molds, had a go at doing them a different way.
Yeah.
And that was a real kind of turning point for the business.
Yeah.
I could teach people to make them on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And we could get the significant thing. I don't know if you remember at the time, it was hard to get like a whiskey, a rum, a brandy, truffle, champagne.
Yeah.
Get enough alcohol in it
Yeah.
and get the texture right to roll out, because it
Too
was
soft.
It was watered down.
Yeah.
It was too runny.
Right.
So doing the other way,
Doing them in
we
the
can
shell,
put
you
loads
get
of-
away.
we can
Actually,
just
it's better
glug,
if they
glug.
would stick together better.
Yeah,
wouldn't they?
it was great. So we then were able to do all them Baileys, champagne, Tia Maria, all sorts.
Are we talking a different language here? Because I just realised that like two chocolatiers talking about. I hope it makes some sense anyway. But it's true though. It's that evolution, isn't it, of the process. And you had to think like, how can I grow a business if Oliver can't do it?
Talk about, we'd gone for probably 15, maybe 20, 15 years of making them this way.
Yeah.
To suddenly throw the recipe book out, the process out,
Crazy.
and start
It's
again.
good to go back to this. It's good to see. Are you going to be rolling these single-handedly? Can I feel like that's good with the bear. Wow, that's amazing. So what's the coffee
It's
flavour?
a German concentrated coffee. Wow. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Really good.
Yeah.
Jackie, thanks for joining us. Liam is loving the table cam. So James, awesome work. Shout out to James. Give it up for James. I'm loving this. This is great. I'm a guest on the show today.
So
are you doing that with one hand?
no. I don't know where you actually got that. I think you're thinking I was more clever than I actually.
Didn't need to be done.
But, I mean, I will actually.
You're
show
only
you
like
now.
two at once at the
Oh,
time.
yeah. And his feet and everything.
Yeah, because you would roll in one and dip in
So-
one, weren't you?
That's right.
Yeah,
I
that's
think to
why.
finish it off while I was dipping it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah. So that's how they were done. But you couldn't do that. Because what I used to say, I'm using like the ball of my hand there
Yeah.
as a cushion. So I'm not. I said you've got to touch them without touching them.
Yeah, I know. I tell people that now. I've just done a live this afternoon for a group of people at Google and people in Tel Aviv, Seattle, Bay Area, San Francisco, California. So amazing, and I'm telling them the same thing. Touch them without touching them.
Yeah. That's right. Come up without picking them up.
Would
Okay.
camp coffee work? I've got some of that actually. Would that work? That liquid camp coffee.
Yeah. But
Syrup,
that's.
isn't
I think I never know what camp coffee is. Chicory, isn't it?
What is it? Is
I
it
don't
like
know. I think it's just an essence.
liquid?
Yeah, and it doesn't kind of.
It would work though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not wouldn't taste quite as authentic as,
No,
as that.
no, not at all. I mean, this is seriously strong stuff.
Mm,
Tell that, can't you?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. coffee, chocolate, and beer all in one go. Loving it. So you're just rolling those out now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I'd be able to do this without icing sugar and stuff, but and what I'm also doing there, I don't know if you noticed, I'm just pinching off a little bit off certain
to get them
ones that are big.
right size.
Yeah. And you know, another kind of weird thing that I've always said, and it's not a get out, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Handmade chocolates give you a license to kind of get away with.
I said that today. I said that is weird. That is so weird. Somebody,
sorry, everybody.
They were sort of. I could tell not quite happy with how they looked. And I said, "Look, these are artisan, handmade chocolates, which, as my dad always says, is a license to make a mess."
Oh, sorry, everybody.
All these quotes,
coming out. This is where the quotes came from.
There we go. The original source. Whilst you're doing that, by the way, I've just got something to show everybody at home. A prop, but not any prop. This is a piece of history from my granddad. Actually made this sign, and this is up in our other space over there, next to the chocolate shop. Handmade chocolates by Simon Dunn and Son. And I was, well, you've seen the picture with that sign. So the picture that we showed you earlier, you know, that was the name of the business, wasn't it, at the time? And I was a baby. So, continental chocolate.
Have people realised why you dress like you are?
We have told them, yeah. So hopefully, if James shows you that picture again, you'll see. In fact, on the picture, is it sideways like that?
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? That's even more.
I don't know which way up it goes.
I don't know. No, I was thinking that. Which way?
It's that way. Yeah.
That way?
Yeah.
No way. That's crazy. So if you want to get what's it called? I'm not going to get you to pick me up, but if you want to take take a screenshot right now if you want a modern version of that picture.
Wasn't that behind you? Were you not?
Was it?
Like that?
Yeah, more like that.
Was it like that? Because we're going to get to take this picture.
So I've looked really big, but this is my little boy.
Screenshot that and stick it in the comments or something after, or tweet it to us. So there we go. We are going to recreate that afterwards.
Right, that was a good start. That was.
Grandad Alan made that, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a sign writer, so he did a lot of screen printing and set us up with our little props for the. Well, there wasn't artisan markets or anything at the time. There were all was Stockport Market.
Right,
that was it. And I used to have a little stall if I was lucky.
Yeah,
and we did amazing. Yeah, it was,
so anybody who's watching this, who's maybe thinking about doing something, whether it's setting up their own business, doing something different, doing something new, there's always that fear of like, oh, will I be able to do it? Will I be able to do it well? Is it going to succeed? At the end of the day, does it really matter? Does it matter what people think? Does it matter if people doubt you? Because I think there was a powerful message there when you set up. A lot of people did say to you that they gave you all these statistics and didn't really show any belief, but you had enough belief in yourself to overcome that and still went ahead and did it.
Well, I'll go to the start of the whole story very briefly. I'm picking these because I do find it quite therapeutic and so can you see that? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, remember this little
no, I wasn't expecting that
tip because
yes
I was never happy about the chocolates.
I'm going to do some Instagram stories or some sites. This is great.
The chocolates having, when you peel them off the paper, because it's a heavy big chocolate, it'll have a hole at the bottom of it and then the centre used to ooze out. So we decided to, one day kind of thought, if I prepare a base of chocolate on the paper,
like a thin layer
to
dip onto, so that every chocolate has got.
Gosh, when you think about that, 40 years ago, and I was in the kitchen at Great Moor doing this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work. That's so annoying. I don't know why. I'm just going to sit here and relax, enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show for a change. Right, well, I worked at Squirrel Horn Sweet Factory and I was trained as a technical confectioner to learn to make every type of sugar confection. At the time, the company I worked for, Squirrel Home in Stockport, had 2 factories. One, they had a chocolate factory in Liverpool, and then the one in Stockport, which made some fantastic sweets, all the old favourites, mint imperials, fruit jellies, fondant creams, which has benefited me over the years. And I was picked out of it started off as a summer job, and I wanted to be a chef. That was my plan. But
Why do you think you wanted to be a chef?
I just like making stuff, playing with stuff at school. You know, you'd be making, doing food kind of classes and making pies and cakes and things. And I just loved all that kind of messing around and being creative. Okay. So I was picked out. I showed a lot of interest on the shop floor on how things were made. And I was picked out as management potential to be trained as a technical confectioner.
Yeah.
So they sent me all over Europe on confectionery courses, and one of them was a 2-month residential course in Germany.
Okay.
And that's what got me going, basically. That was the one that I was on 40 years ago. Me and Mum just
quite an intensive course.
Me and Mum just got married, and we got married in the June, and then I was sent there in the August. Was it 2 months? And it was an amazing course. It's still actually going now. It's ZDS in Zollingen, it's called. Central Fachschule der Deutschwaren Wirtschaft, which is the Central Confectionery School of Germany. But I was the only English pupil. There were 27 pupils from all over the world.
And you kept in touch with somebody?
Yeah. A guy in Switzerland recently I've got in touch with, Felix Christen. Hopefully you'll get to see this. Yeah.
Send him the link.
And he lives in Zurich, and he wants me to go over and visit. That was all planned before all this chaos started.
Yeah.
So I went on this course, came back, and started playing around at home making chocolates in the kitchen. And the first chocolates I made were absolutely awful. they weren't a success at all.
Were you not proud of them? Do you remember not feeling?
Yeah. Well, it was weird actually, because I was making them the way that I've been trained and using the techniques I've been trained.
Yeah.
And I actually got an order from the chocolate box in Prestbury. I took them down and paid me, and back home I came and full of myself, and I said, "Oh, this is amazing! Next stop Harrods," and all the rest of it. Went back about 2 weeks later. I think it was the day after you were born.
Wow.
And he said, "Those chocolates were awful, don't come back."
Wow.
Oh, God. I was like, "Oh, great."
Well, you didn't take that as a...
Well, I did initially. I did.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I sat in the car and I thought, "Oh, bloody hell, that's good, isn't it? I'm going to go back and tell Anna about that, tell you more about that."
Right.
But, I thought, right, well, I'll teach myself to make chocolates.
Yeah. Your own way.
That can be done in the facilities I've got.
Right.
And I played around, experimented,
but you probably weren't happy with them anyway.
No,
so
I wasn't really. No.
It sounds like a blessing in disguise, because you get taught to do something somebody else's way.
Yeah.
As if you find your own way that feels right, that works for you, you can really believe in that, can't you?
Absolutely. And it's I'll never forget, because kind of went back to the drawing board, if you like, and I thought, right, start from scratch. I've been taught the basics, I've been taught the fundamentals on how to make chocolate, temper chocolate and work with chocolate, and Squirrel Home, because of all the processes that I'd seen, it kind of put a lot of things together.
Yeah.
And that following Christmas, I'll never forget, I was lucky to work in a factory with like 200 or 300 people.
Yeah.
And put together a box of chocolates that were pretty much identical to these, and said to your Mum, if we sell 100 quid's worth, I'll be delighted.
Yeah.
And the boxes were 8 in a box, and they're £1.80 a box, right? It's not much, is it? But 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And anyway, I sold 100 boxes at £1.80, so it was 180 quid's worth. I thought, that's amazing. I was really chuffed, and I was proud of them. And these are mine. These are
that they're going to people that are going to go eat them, enjoy them, tell people.
I thought, right, well, that's the Christmas chocolate sales over. went back to work after Christmas,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Those chocolates, Simon, they're amazing. I want some more."
Wow.
And it was like, okay.
And you're still finding that now,
Yeah.
40 years later. People coming in for the first time.
Yeah,
never tried
absolutely.
it before.
And it was like, wow, I think I might have a business here. So that grew and grew, and we did more and more, and Stockport Market, and we supplied the Sycamore, the Birch Fair, loads of pubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And got to the point where I was kind of forced to make a very, very bold decision. And the company I worked for at the time, they could see my success, and they kind of said to me, "We'll set you up. Oh yeah, over in Liverpool, we'll set you up a department, and we'll go 50-50, and we'll kind of provide you with suppliers." And I thought, and they even set me up with an appointment with House of Fraser in London. I went down, and they wanted the chocolates.
I think the thing here is that you've created these chocolates that they're now part of you, and it's part of your identity. That to then give away 50% of that, and for somebody else to take ownership, or, for it to go under somebody else's identity, and for you to work. I understand it's not just about the money; it's about the, you being proud, and these are like your babies. So.
Well, it was the potential that I saw. I thght, if I've just done this with all these local people, the people I work with, and I'm getting repeat sales. And and I felt really bad, at the time, because I thought, well, they've helped to set me up with the business. They've trained me in Germany, and they've put me in touch with the main buyers. Yeah. But I just took a decision one day that I would leave and set up on my own. Yeah. And I spoke to people in the industry, friends, people that I really trusted their opinion, and pretty much most people said, "You can't make a success of it. It won't work." Yeah. You can't. Nobody has made a success of a handmade chocolate business. And would you say that your enthusiasm for it was over? Yeah, well, I wasn't prepared to fail at the first hurdle and give in and say, "Well, I can't do it," or carry on going to somebody else with those type of chocolates. Yeah, I wanted to make something that would work, and I've always done that. I've always kind of taken the challenge and gone for it and mastered it. Yeah. So it's been a great journey, and I'm loving the journey even more now. So you're loving it in High Lane. We've got a new addition to Chocolate Street. We've got Kim Minchin Lifestyle. Has anybody noticed these gorgeous beer glasses? Yes, very nice. Cheers. Yeah. Available from Kim Minchin store, one of our lovely new neighbours that's making us up our game. Yeah. Putting us to shame. So since Kim has arrived here on Chocolate Street, we've decided that we are definitely doing a decking area on the canal. So we're going to extend out onto there. And the good news is that's just for us. That's just for us. To drink beer. We'll see. You're seeing that now. Look at that. That's the beauty of that, isn't it? James will show. Oh, yes. Okay. So that basically gives us a seal bottom. And you don't, that's quite unique. Wow, they're amazing. Chocolates eaten 10 or 15 minutes after they were liquid. It's quite special, isn't it? They are. Is that good? Something else they are. Oh my God. Let me go and link to the past. They are awesome. Just whilst I'm eating that chocolate and drinking beer and checking the comments, let us know if you're watching. I can see lots of lovely comments. Margaret, Lynn, Mandy, Jane, Sheila, Jackie, Angelina, everybody, thank you so much for your comments. And James, you've got a little picture there of my little one, Romy Star, because Jane Temple has said next door. Nikki looks after us with our parcels in Express. If anyone needs a fantastic courier service. We have great service at Christmas. You do? Yeah, honestly, always. Fantastic. To get our kits around the planet, Nikki, you have to come over and see a new edition. Did you manage to find that picture of Romy? Is that on? So that's Romy's first Christmas. Romy was very excited to see all the family. So it's going to be a 20-year gap, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Have you thought about that? I wouldn't wish that on Roma, would you? But by that time, I think there'll be virtual chocolates.
We're making chocolates in the metaverse.
Yeah, a little advert, and
Oh yeah, you told me.
this wine bottle appears and it just pours your champagne for you. In futuristic. You can't see that.
Wow.
And I can't see this being futuristic.
You
Can't beat.
digitalize that, can you?
I mean, for supposedly irregular chocolates are not too irregular, are they?
No, they're pretty consistently well shaped.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of them. And that's how it was, and that's how we kind of on that picture in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You don't see anything about that picture in the kitchen. I'm wearing a jumper.
Oh right.
What have I been like
You
about
would never
that?
do that, would you? No. Because of anything with
Oh, I
loose,
can't
small.
tolerate anything that's got fibre losing material in my chocolate room. Has to go.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
walked in with that beard at Father Christmas.
Yeah, don't come anywhere near my chocolate machines. Michelle, thanks for joining. You have to watch this over if you get a chance. We'll be posting it up later, so check it out from the start if you get a chance. And Nikki, Romy is definitely still after my beer or Kim's wine.
She did that when she was a man.
I know. Oh my god, hilarious. So I wanted to let me just make sure that I don't. Let us know if you have any questions for Papa Choc this evening, and I'm just going to go check what it was that I posted because there was a few things that I wanted to speak about, and it was more about like we touched on it before, the mindset of a chocolatier, and you said about how like being a chocolatier at Christmas is, you've got to give up December, and I understand that, like not have any work commitments. Apart from that, you've got to be pretty obsessive over quality, the look. Are you every time you make something? Is it like you're thinking about?
I think you were listening to me the other week with one of our regular customers. I was talking about how we don't have misshapes.
Yeah, right.
And I said the reason we don't have misshapes is because every one of them is so important.
Yeah,
and it's that one of those is it's going to make somebody happy. Everyone.
Every single piece of it, like
every single bite. So you don't you're not making something that it's not about the money.
No,
I've always said
you're not just selling a box of chocolates.
I don't. Of course, I like the money.
Yeah,
that comes way down my priority list.
Yeah,
first thing is the customer
right
enjoying what I've made.
Yeah,
does the customer enjoy giving to somebody else what I've made?
Okay,
and so on. Because the great thing about our business is that people talk about it, and people recommend us to them, and so we have to keep that standard up. I mean, they're as good as they could ever be now. Chocolates, we get fresh double cream from Jackson's Dairy down the road, and it's as you've seen, there's not much in it.
So if anyone's missed that, literally that is fresh double cream, milk chocolate, and the coffee concentrate. Dips in dark chocolate with the walnut on top. They are incredible. You might get people, if anyone's watching this that lives around here, asking you to make one.
Well, I was going to say, but it's easy. I mean, I can do. I mean, but as far as putting them in the cabinet and adding it to the range, there isn't the space to do it. But one thing I am pretty, I say it this time of year, quite happy to make. Somebody wanted that in white chocolate or in, how flexible we are. I kind of like to provide a service where if people want something dipped in a certain chocolate, I can do it.
Can I just go a little bit deeper now into what you would say is your purpose or your why? Like why you do this, like why you're a chocolatier? What I think you've touched on it just now, is like making people happy and that kind of thing. But if you could maybe just expand on that a little bit as to like your purpose in life. If you wanted to, you could go back to when you were a child and you used to
That was a weird one, though, wasn't it? I mean, I think I was only about 5 at the time.
Right.
I remember very cheekily going to bed, probably eating a bag of Cadbury's buttons, and fell asleep with them under me or at the side of me, and then woke up and the bag had melted and reset in a different shape. I remember opening this bag and looking at this totally different product.
Yeah.
Thinking that's awesome. I mean, is that weird
shape.
for a 5-year-old to look
Yeah.
at something and think that's melted and reset, and look at the shape it is. It's in the shape of the bag, the crease bag with the creases in it.
Yeah,
I remember looking at it and thinking,
I just made that almost like by accident.
Mum,
So that might-
Mum, can I have a dipping fork for my next Christmas present?
Yeah. So do you think that like planted a seed?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm always a bit strange like that, noticing weird things. So I often wonder if I hadn't been the chocolatier, what would I be? Because I'm certainly not made for sitting behind a desk and looking at a screen or.
Yeah.
And I think like you say, I've hit on it before. It's about the satisfaction that it gives people. I mean, you look at the film Chocolate,
Yeah.
and it's all about the customers coming back, and it reignites the passion in the local village, and that's how it is. It's a happy sale. People walk in, and they go out happy. Frankly.
It's like a lasting impression, isn't it, on people? Like it's not just the moment they bite into it; it's after it when they remember it. And you always talk about flavour memory, so you're leaving a lasting impression, which they go on and tell the people about. So it's like in the longer term, it's a legacy of flavour memory with all these like people that have had your chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird actually, but I always remember when I was training in Germany, and me and Mum have always liked good chocolates, and we had a week before I started the course to stay out there and do a bit of sightseeing, and I remember buying some chocolates in a local cafe.
Right.
And we were like, never tasted chocolates like them. And we were like really kind of blown away with these flavours and textures, and then I think we struggled to find the shop again, the cafe again.
Yeah.
And we bought them because they're everywhere in Germany. We've been there many times.
Yeah.
All these fancy chocolates were in this other store. It was a department store. And we bought them and looked at each other. These not a patch on those.
Right.
And then I remember thinking then if I can make chocolates like them, that people will
There's a gap.
know the difference.
Yeah.
And they'll come to me rather than anybody else.
Yeah.
And that taught me that there was a difference, and that people will notice there's a difference.
So you can stand out above the crowd by just being.
And until you've tried them, you don't know the difference.
Yeah.
There'll be people that will be happy with the other ones, but not those.
Right.
No, that really kind of all the time we're learning, aren't we?
Yeah,
Copying
always.
things.
Yeah. But I think, like you said before, trends do change, and there will be like introduction of dairy-free, vegan chocolate. Your chocolate sprouts, thinking of new ideas, but you've always got that. It's such a traditional product that it's a timeless classic, isn't it? What about that? Like with new ideas and stuff, do you think to be a chocolatier you need to have that mindset of that creative thinking?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I'm always. I mean, there's constant kind of changes in trends and things, and I'm always wondering whether it can be associated in a chocolate. There's but I wouldn't say it's not a problem, but my kind of dilemma is that I'm busy all the time doing what I do.
Yeah.
So there's no room to experiment and play with new stuff unless I have a bit of downtime. I don't get much of that.
No.
I mean, what are we like going back after Christmas now?
I know. Straight into the fast lane. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Talked about the logo, but I don't think you wanted to really talk about that, did you?
Yeah. I don't know. Have you spoken to Mum about that logo today?
No.
It's probably because of
Is
this.
that weird? Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is that why you were?
James, could you get a close up on that? My dad holds it up or something, or leave it where it is. What would you say? So, traditionally, the logo, the Simon Dunn Chocolatier logo, looked like this, and that's the logo that I remember growing up with. And my granddad hand painted it, or he was a sign writer, wasn't he? So
yeah, I mean, it's. Well, I think we're safe to say this now. It was a bit of a kind of not a copy. It was a different version,
inspired by
a different version of an original kind of piece of art.
Right.
But it's based on the Flapper Girl of the 50s.
Right.
And
It was that traditional.
Yeah, I
feel,
mean, it's
wasn't
like
it?
the Parisian kind of.
Yeah.
It was actually the image is of a lady holding beads around her neck.
Yeah.
And then your granddad removed the beads in Photoshop. No. he changed it, reversed it, and took the beads off and made it look like she was eating chocolate.
Right. Yeah.
So we used that logo ever since. And then
for about 30 years.
at least, 30 odd years, And then I was in Winslow one day, and the shop was, honestly, anybody that ever came to the shop, what was it like?
Crazy.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It was full on, but I love that. I mean, Stockport was the same. It was absolutely crazy, but I love being busy and working hard.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call, and this lady said, "Is that Simon Dunn?" I said, "Yeah, speaking." "You don't know me, but you very soon will. You've stolen my piece of art. I had that drawing commissioned for me. It's like you've stolen a piece of my family." And I was like, "Is this a wind up? Are you? Is this? Who is this?"
Wow.
And it was like it escalated to get to a serious legal case and infringement and all sorts of trademark copyright. I said, this image exists in all these flapper styles. Anyway, it was pretty clear we weren't getting anywhere with it, and it was on the sign of all the shops. Yet, if you don't remove the signs on all packaging by such a date, we'll take legal action. So, I think bit by bit we actually came up with Mark, my website guy, graphic designer, came up instantly. With what I would. Well, it's the next chapter in the business, and it's two hearts in the shape of two cocoa beans. So that'll do. We'll have that now.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and you're having a neon sign made with that.
That'll be the shop.
That'll be cool.
So it's.
So
it was like the
side.
It was like the previous kind of. I don't know. It was like an ending to the business, and then it evolves into. At the time, I wasn't happy about how the business was operating. We became busy coffee shops.
Yeah,
and I didn't like that. Although we were very successful, and people still talk about the hot chocolate and the chocolate cake, but it took us away from being a chocolatier.
Yeah,
and I wanted to be a chocolatier. So in a way, that logo went with the coffee shops, and then we got the new hot cocoa.
Yeah, it's all about the chocolate. All about the chocolate.
So. Thank you, Aldrich.
Love that.
Always the story. That's what this is all about, telling stories.
Couldn't resist.
Julie Horton, shout out to Julie.
Hello,
Thanks
Julie.
for watching. And to Lynn, thank you for your kind words. And we're also lucky to have your dad's experiences. Yeah, I, for one, feel that, definitely.
Me too.
It's really nice. Nice to share all these stories with you all. And we'll just quickly recap on what we've made here.
So our cheeks are getting rosier and
rosier.
rosier.
Coffee walnut whip, would you say? Yeah. Like a coffee and walnut cake in a chocolate. So it's milk chocolates, coffee from the bean, not coffee essence, but coffee
concentrate.
Concentrate.
Yeah, it's a German product. It's
fantastic.
Not cheap, but it goes to the mouth, do the job.
Double cream and then coated in dark chocolate. That's the 70%.
But the biggest secret, like we said, is that the base is completely sealed.
Love it.
Quite
amazing. I'm
I
tempted.
didn't forget about that technique.
I was actually thinking about it on my way over this afternoon. I was thinking, I hope he does that, because I've not seen that in so long. And just at first I thought, what's he doing? He's not, because I only ever see you pour the chocolate to do like the spiky, like you've seen me do the sprouts. So that was great to see.
I think because I was going to overload the display today, but I think we'll save that for another time to make the Albini, which is always a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah,
and the seashells,
right?
And I think you mentioned rose and violet cream. You like those?
Yeah, let us know what you'd like to see.
I mean, they're all very traditional products, but they're all bestsellers, honestly, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're not. It's.
Well, between us, there's plenty of products, recipes, and things that we can share with you on the Choc and Roll Show. It's been nice for me to just sit and watch how chocolates are made. You know, how you do it properly.
I suppose you forget things, or you it's always a relief when it works as well, isn't it? Because it's
Especially when it's live.
Yeah, but it ought to work after all these years.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to go recreate that picture of me and my dad, Simon Dunn and Son, with that original sign from 40 years ago. Yes, it is greaseproof paper on the tray, Sheila. Margaret, about the tip. Margaret loves the tip of sealing the bottom, so she's grateful for that. Thanks, Margaret. Thank you, Lynn, saying that what a lovely relationship between you and your dad.
So I think if you just remind Margaret, if she actually does do that, the secret also is to make sure it's thin enough.
Yeah.
If it's too thick,
Paper
it won't. Well, it's weird actually, because if I spread that on there too thickly, because it's so thick, it won't.
No,
it needs to be thin enough to pull away. So
yeah, not too
trial
thin.
and error practice.
It's got to be not too thin, so it's transparent.
It's probably as thin as you can get it, isn't it, without being transparent?
Yeah, as thin as you can get it without being transparent. There we go.
Yeah, see, he's learning.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Choc and Roll Show tonight.
Papa Choc, enjoy that.
Thanks. Thank you
He's
so
a good
much.
boy.
That's all for now. Peace, love. What is it?
Choc and roll.